Good day, folks. Welcome to 406 Regen. We are headed out to move the sheep today. As you can tell, it's gotten a little bit drier. Wind the last couple days, yesterday really helped bring it out. Unfortunately, I mean, as much as it's a hassle for me right now to deal with the mud, we need the moisture, so it makes it a little bit hard to be happy about it being dry. That being said, also don't necessarily like the mud, so it is what it is. Gonna have to run the roller down here and clean up some of the roadway. One thing about running these old four-wheelers, they sure are rough on the body when you try to go over rougher terrain. They've sure improved them from back in the day. Those of you that follow my channel, you know this is an older Kodiak. Runs fine. I mean, it does its job just fine, but it is rough. Extremely rough. Try to do more than 15 mile an hour on it. So, but that's all right. I don't need to go that fast. I wondered where those two dogs went. The old border collie heard me start up the four-wheeler. Decided to run out to the sheep on herself. Well, not exactly by herself. Looks like she brought Bear with her, so that's nice. But it is starting to green up, folks. It is really nice. It's greening up. It's always a little bit of less stress when it starts greening up. Mentality wise, it's, I don't know, I guess it's just something, and I think everybody's kind of got it, where the new life is coming, and it makes it very nice. It's new life popping up in the ground. The deer will be, having their babies here in a month or two, and yeah. New life. So, like I said, we're moving them today. Since it dried up, I gotta get get some hay spread out for them here on this other end, of course. Looks like they got their water emptied out, judging by how the things pushed up against the fence. But, yeah. So, I guess yesterday, hold on folks, gonna move the camera here a second. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Yesterday, GW decided to forget all his lessons about Sparky and just took off on my brother again running, so we'll see how that goes. Throw the collar on him here today. I'll turn him loose, and that'll be that. And he'll remember that off. That way I won't get bit by my own fence. What are you two lunkheads doing out here, huh? Huh? GW and you big boy. So, As you can tell, the ground was heavily impacted out here from the animals, but we'll give them some fresh ground here on this other side and give them water. I knew they'd be out this morning. I gave them water last night, but I made sure not to fill them up, so wouldn't necessarily have to waste it. Hey! Can you be quiet? Thank you. So, I knew they were out of water, and they're mostly out of feed here too, so gave them 2 bales through that rainstorm. We're going to see on some of this stuff on how thick some of this is, because it's quite thick in places, but then you get under it and it's thick, but hopefully it's not too compacted to where grass can't grow up through it. That'll be one of my main concerns. So, but this is all to improve this field, especially right here on this hillside top where I'm at. I'll get out here where I don't have the hay unrolled yet. As you can tell, this is pretty barren. It's just a clay hilltop, so it takes a lot for anything to get established and start growing, which is why we are unrolling the hay and turning this ground that looks like this into that. Even if I have hay that I have to move around, or if I don't even get a chance to move it around, a couple of spots like that, I'd much rather have that than a whole lot of spots that look like this and nothing on it, so there's nothing growing. Even though that looks kind of junkier, it's improving the ground. It's easier to come back in a year or two when that degrades, and that'll grow up on its own or feed across it again, and it'll get to where it's all covered out here. Yes, let's walk through the sheep. I haven't walked through the sheep for a while. And this guy, I don't know, he definitely has that gene where he's got horns, because he's the only one out here that has sprouted a full set. Most likely won't be staying in the flock, but kind of curious if he would do a full curl or not. The way his horns are growing, he might. Then you got number 21, which is too friendly, and number 7, which is another one that's almost too friendly. But as you can tell, they're starting to shed their winter hair already. The good ones are. After that rain, they definitely got a lot going on the shedding department. Don't you ram me. But, like I was saying, I end up with spots like this here. This is obviously, it's too thick to get anything to grow through it. So, I'm either going to have to come out here and move it around, since these girls didn't do their job on that department, or it just is going to be what it's going to be, and I'd much rather have the trample effect and the coverage like this here is than where it's completely bare. Like, kind of missed some right there. Need to get the biology in the ground to start growing and doing its job. For the most part, sheep are looking good. Who are you? You never let me touch you before. But yeah, so the goal for the day is move everybody that direction. Take the fences down, move them. My brother's gonna bring the bale truck out, get some of this hay unrolled, get some of the straw unrolled. What are you doing? Huh? But, so that's the goal, and that's what I'm doing. So I'll probably put the Sparky on GW here and let him out. So how I've been doing it all winter is just flip-flopping the dogs. So I let the dogs out and I take their netting down that they're in and flip it over to that side, push the cows into it, put the dogs in this one. It's been going pretty good. It's working pretty good. But only thing is, I can't have the dogs just bolting for a new countryside GW. So now that it's daytime, I haven't ever introduced Ranger to Tuca yet. And I don't know if Tuca will show up or not. He's sleeping at the house. But hopefully no problems there. GW and him have been out and introduced each other and played around, and you know, he comes out with us when he wants to, and these dogs see him, smell him. So, and I don't think there'll be any problems, because I mean, he has him buffaloed, however that works. I don't know. But alright, I'm gonna put the collar on dog and get back with y'all. Alrighty folks, the beasts are free to kind of do what they want to do. As long as they stay in eyesight and they don't look like they're just running for another country. I don't care if he runs around. But if I look up and he's just flat out running for those hills, that's not his job. He's got his radius here, and that's what he needs to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start picking up some of these nettings and start the process. Alrighty, folks. Got the fence moved. Got the water trough picked up. Have not moved the animals yet, as you can hear. Are you done yet? Just because you're cow boss in there don't mean you're out here. Move you when we get our feed ready for you. Hey. So, anyway. Yeah, so we got the fence up. My brother's unrolling the hay. I think he's got 6 good bales in here. Then he's probably going to go pick up, probably the four of the straw bales probably would be my guess. This right here is where you end up with really thick stuff, because if the bale stops rolling or something, or decides to all come off at once, that right there is about 1.5 feet thick. So I'm going to have to grab the pitchfork and spread that out a little bit. And what I've been doing is spreading out hay with the pitchfork in front of the trough, so if it is wet, that they compact the hay and straw down there instead of just making it one big old mess. But as you can see, got the netting up. Now it's just waiting on my brother to get the rest of the hay in here for him, like they think they need. And yeah, then we'll move them through. Thinking about trying to keep a couple of rams out, just so I can get some of the cobwebs out of Bear. I've got an appointment with him for tomorrow to go get some lessons, so it'd be nice to get a little bit of the cobwebs out. Let him start remembering some things before tomorrow, so then he's got it. So it's quicker, gets more of the lesson that way. So, and this guy, I think this was the one that sloughed off his toenail on the right front there. He's doing good. Except here the other day, he rubbed off his little nubbin on top of his head on something. I don't know what they rub on out here. There's nothing out here from the rub on. Before I always thought, oh, it's a dog kennel, but the dog kennel's not in with them no more. So they find something to rub off their ear tags and all that stuff on. So it's always quite interesting. So looks like he might be grabbing one more good bale or two. So starting to look like a few head out here. I'm hoping this year that we can really expand on it, and hopefully we have a really good lambing season. That's going to start 1st of May. So not too far away now. Not too far away. So get these girls, keep them eating as much as they can on the green good stuff. And the green's coming through, so it's kind of, it's in that area now. It's like, well, you don't want them to just clip all the green off and then it won't grow. But yet, I don't want to just keep them on one spot. So then you're moving them all around and you're eating up all the green stuff, which it's not as bad for us because we do move them in these pins. So they're not just going around eating it, and eating it again over a big area, just these little pins. And, they're off of these areas now, and at the moment it's like 5 or 6 days. By the time they eat what they want here, 5 or 6 days is when we move them off of their area, and then we move them to another one. So they're not too terribly bad, but it's still going to affect the spring growth a little. Later on this spring, it'll be, everyday moves. Especially after lambing. Lambing season might not be every day, it might be every 2 or 3. Over the winter here, I like the size of the pin that I'm able to give them. But that's with the cows, so I'm probably going to bring that back, because once we start lambing, I'm pulling the rams out. I'm pulling the bull out to go with the rams. And then the cows, they'll all get shuffled out into polywire like I had them last year. Just easier to keep them moving that way. So the sheep will not need this big an area to graze. It's going to be too big for them to graze it effectively. So I'll probably put them back down into, I don't know, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 6 nets right now, and they'll probably get put down to 4, I would imagine. 4 nets for the sheep. Now, of course, like I said, that's not counting the ram flock. They're going to have their own nets somewhere else, and the bull. So, and that's how we're going to do it. But it's quite exciting. It's a gorgeous day out. You can still see a little bit of the mountains and snow peaks over there. A neighbor's actually has 4 or 5 acres that they want to run some animals across. So I think what I'll probably do is when I first pull the rams off out of the bunch here, we'll just ship them up to the neighbors, and I'll run the netting up there with the rams and the bull for however long that grass lasts there. And then we'll put them back, we'll bring them back here to somewhere on the place, but they won't see the girls until December after we pull them out. So anyway, All right, well, looks like the water truck's here, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill up their water. Gonna help my brother finish unrolling hay and getting some of this accomplished.